What up, people? Sorry. I've been a little lax and, been busy, a lot of things. And so, but I still captured this, the red dwarf passing in front of the sun. And, I caught it behind the moon and in front of the sun. So you kind of can get a relative distance of where it's at and how we're looking at it. When I didn't when I filmed in front of the moon, it was like easterly, and when I filmed it in front of the sun, it's westerly. So you can get the idea of how it came around. You know, so and you can obviously see, woo, 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 check it out, all the orbs and stuff. You see the planets right there, and you see the baseball planet right at the bottom, or right at where the wires are to the bottom left. I'm trying to get that named. The binary planet that circles one of the bigger planets. I'm trying to get that named. Rena P 020102. Got that, NASA? You see it down there? I know you do. So, but I had a lot of issues with what I'm gonna say, how I'm gonna say it, because seeing what I'm saying, it's like, okay, where do you guys get your information from? I can't figure that out. Who's giving you this information? Because you damn sure ain't calculated it yourself, or observed it, or photographed it, or charted it and all that, you know. And when you're coming out and you're telling people that this thing is orbiting, like a binary planet, like a barbell. We know who said that. Wish you would have called into that live stream. I would have came out and busted you. That's why you didn't. I ain't a dope head. But you see what's going on out there. I don't even have to use the arrow to point it. You know what I'm saying? When you guys finally realize that some alphabet channel is out there talking about, oh yeah, man, it's like 69 moons, man. Man, I'd like to know how you figured that out. Tell me how you figured that out, bro. Okay, who's your sources? Because I know it ain't NASA. Okay, you don't know where to get information from. You're picking it apart from people that give it to you. I know this. Okay, NASA ain't talking. So you ain't getting it from NASA or any kind of Berkeley type. Okay, that I know for sure. Now, most of the amateur astronomers you have on your channels and stuff, they're phony. They ain't done no research. They ain't done no data. They ain't done no scientific experiments. They ain't done none of that. They ain't done no charting. They nothing. Nothing. I already said it once. I got 5, 6 binders full of data that you guys don't have. Like the correlation with temperature. See, you guys are all swinging the tree, wondering, hey, why is it got so warm? Woo, 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 this, that, and the third. Well, y'all don't know. Every time these things come by, they warm up the planet because they radiate heat, just like Jupiter. Saturn, I said this before, Saturn radiates more heat than it receives from the sun. Okay, again, woo, ah, ooh, you guys aren't understanding because you don't know this. And every time they come by, there's a temperature fluctuation. And even the people that I hang around with know that every time I predict this fluctuation, it's right on. Just like how I know that where the magnetic pole is. Just like I know why it's going to be such a bad winter. Bad. Nobody's listening to me. Bad. Okay? It's going to be major storms along the coast. It's going to be deep freeze in the Midwest. And it's going to be raining like heck on the West Coast. And you guys on the this, that, and the third. You guys don't understand. You don't understand how the ocean's convector belt works. You don't understand the gravitational forces are in control of the currents in the oceans. You guys don't know that. The jet stream patterns, isobars. You guys don't know nothing about it. You don't talk nothing about that. It boggles the mind. And you guys keep talking, and I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense. None. And all that stuff you're spewing, all those so-called experts, the photographic experts. Yeah, right. Okay, you gonna get that kind of image. Let me ask you this. Okay, if you get those images when you're refracting a picture, right? Why are they all in a straight line then? Why are they all in a straight line? And when you refract, you bust the spectrum down. That's why you get all kinds of different colors. Third of all, the coating on whatever she's using, mirrors. So what she's even using is wrong. Now check it out. Here's the freaking boom. Let you gaze at that for a second, boo. See how it's leaving a trail? See how it's leaving a dark trail? Again, see how it's leaving a dark trail all the way over there? When you guys begin to understand how to film this stuff, you be like, oh, this dude is bad. Okay? See how the colors are separated. You see red, yellow, and when you pan down, you see blue. You gotta learn how to see the red planet in the background. Y'all don't see that because y'all don't know how to film it. You guys keep showing those webcams. I tell you, you're duping everybody with those webcams and those Sechi images. We know what's going on with those Sechi images. We know what's going on with Soho. Y'all don't know where to get information from, and that's what keeps tripping me out. Where you getting your information from? Okay, are you like 8, 9, 10 hours? I'm out here right now. It's like 4 in the morning. I'm out here, and I was like, okay, I didn't know what to say, and I'm out here charting the stars. You don't even know that we just shifted 19 degrees. We just shifted, earthed it in about a 50-minute span. Y'all don't even know that because you in bed sleeping, wondering who you gonna do next. You ain't out here doing the real work. See the dwarf going by? See the red dwarf leaving a trail? Y'all don't know nothing. And when you begin to know something, then it still might be nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I just, it makes me upset because you're getting all this wrong information, all this wrong footage. The watcher in UK, you're still doing the same thing. Got trees overlapping trees with no branches. Talking about, fresh image. Oh, we're going to go into the archive. Same thing. Roofs on top of roofs. Telephone poles going into houses. Some reflections made, some not. There's a way to pixelate all that stuff, dude. And you don't know that, I know. Okay? See the numbers right there? Y'all know it's biblical up in here. Keep telling you, look at that ugly looking thing. When you begin to understand that all these things correlate, and I keep telling you, this was going to be a close pass, and it was. And you guys still dissing me, man. Using my info, trading barbs. I don't care. That's fine. My only goal is to get the truth out like the Egyptians and the Mayans. Y'all don't even know this, man. Y'all don't even know this. How can it be possible that in 4 different cultures, the symbolism of a dragon is somewhere in their culture? Y'all don't even know this. It makes no sense. How can three different cultures have the same image of a dragon? Because they saw it in the sky, fool. They didn't see it on Yahoo, Google. They didn't see it on Sky, Google. You know what I'm saying? Be tripping out. What's wrong with you people? See, look at the face right there. I keep telling y'all, man, look at that. He's trying to tell you something. You guys are messing up. And it's tripping me out because all this stuff, I keep telling you. I keep telling you what's going on. And then people all of a sudden is circling like a barbell. Be like, oh yeah, I know why now. Just shifting of the earth. Because I've been telling you guys this. All my sources are telling me. I'll tell you my sources are. Universities around the world. You guys don't even know that. I have certain people in certain universities I communicate with because they trust me. Astrophysics Club. Junk like that. Y'all don't know. You know what I'm saying? They have, whatever. And you need to quit biking on NASA. NASA's got 5 supercomputers working on the problem right now. Wondering where they need to spray next. Wondering where they need to use HAARP. HAARP is not a weather weapon. It's used to strengthen our atmosphere. Chem spraying weighs the atmosphere down so it doesn't get dragged away like Mars. Man, y'all cats are on dope if you don't know this. And it boggles my mind that I can't keep having to try to quit biking on NASA. They got 20,000 people working on the problem. They're just not telling you. Do your own research then. Make your own opinions. Don't be spreading junk. Dissing our Lord with your junk science. Your sun simulator crap. I already dissed it and put it down. It's over. Your sun simulator junk is over. You might as well get over that rap. Trying to talk about, we're going to make a composite drawing. Then tell me how much it costs after you do that. Then tell me who's going to build it. Who's going to launch it into space? Why don't you start telling me those things instead of giving me a drawing? Why don't you give me charts and estimates? Why don't you give me the manufacturer? They have to have it. No one's going to produce these big xenon bulbs, whatever you call them, and it not be made public. Y'all cats are dope, man. Straight up. We're going to have a bad winter. The magnetic pole is on the other side of us. People are saying now that their compasses are beginning to swing. Yeah, because it's the turn of the magnetic pole is getting sharper. See, people like us in the Midwest and stuff, we don't get a relatively different compass reading because it's on the other side of the Earth. And the Arctic jet stream follows that magnetic pole. So it's coming down around, right down the Midwest. It's going to collide with the warm Gulf air. And it's going to blanket the coast. Not only that, Buffalo and all them. They're already seeing ice sheets moving in. Ice sheets moving in. Y'all gotta understand, man. You just up there, just spewing, everything, and not coming up with the real facts or the science that tells you what this is all about. They're not gonna hit us. They're not gonna hit us. Nothing. We have 7 inbound comets. I predict NASA knows of about 50, maybe more. If I can see 7 of them, NASA can probably quadruple it, more than that. I don't even know, factor it. Doesn't matter. But I know these things and you don't. And you got proof of it. I told them that the comet was coming. And they both saw it. And it went over Michigan. You know what I'm talking about, man. Look at that black planet over there. It's sweet. Now we're going to talk about the ladies real quick. So I'm going to give you another piece of of the word that you might not recognize. Adam and Eve, right? Now we already know Adam gave his rib, to protect Eve's heart. We already know that. Okay. But that Eve bit into the forbidden fruit, right? She's got a bad rap for that ever since. But what you don't understand is that Eve took one for the team like Jesus. And you want to know why? Because the devil told her that if she did it, she wouldn't regret it. And because of that, evil was passed on to man. And if you understand this, that Eve gets a bad rap for not having that, the evilness within them, like men do. Men have evilness, like, all the crookedness that's going on, in the past, Pota, Hitler, Stalin, Caesar, all of them, they were evil men. So you have Eve to thank for that, ladies. That you don't harness that other side of what's wrong with this world. But again, we'll go back to the science of it, and we'll see these things. They saw the planet whip by. Now you're going to see them whip by the other way, because they circle around. Now you'll see them whip by the other way. See how they coming around? Whoosh. See that? You see the tail of it? Around the red tail around the light source? See how that works, people? See these guys, I'm telling you, all of them. They're just not telling you that this is the truth. This is a very close past. I said that before. Now, when these things jet out, and they're going to jet out for maybe a little while, and when they come back, I'll probably know again how close the orbit might be, or whatever. I can't do that right now. And this is what you got to do to keep up with this stuff. See, and I know them guys don't do that. I know them guys ain't out there taking readings and measurements and, like looking stuff under the microscope like I have. Just got to understand that what they're talking about is keep talking about AI. Is impossible. It would take like 5 supercomputers just to equal the equivalent of the human brain, let alone all the creativity and everything with it. I mean, a supercomputer could barely beat the chess champion. Barely. Right? Okay, that's just chess. Try Monopoly with a computer. They would really freak out because they don't understand the wheeling and dealing of Monopoly. So everything you would need to teach it everything. And you would need, so much computing power. It doesn't matter if you have quantum computers or trigger quantum. Doesn't matter. You can never put an AI-generated system out there. It just can't happen. You can put robots. You could put, the type of, robots that can interact. But to even become equivalent, it just can't happen. There's just too many variables. There's too many circumstances. There's too many scenarios. There's just too much that the computer or AI would never get, like gut feelings, intuition, deja vu. You can't get those things. Only a person can. And that is the difference. And now you see what's going on with this. And you see how it's rolling around. And you see how it's, blowing off the atmosphere, because the sun is a very powerful orb. You see how that works? And you can understand that, okay, I see how these things orbit now. They circle around. Yeah, the big ones, they circle around, and I see the small. That's how they orbit. That's how they orbit. It's a red dwarf. Red dwarf. And you gotta understand that. People are starting to understand. My bad. People are starting to understand that when they see the pictures of, a real red dwarf on the screen, they're like, oh, it has to be a red dwarf. Well, just because it's on the screen doesn't mean you have to believe it that way. Because I knew it was a red dwarf before I even filmed it. Because I know that a red dwarf is only capable of keeping these planets in an orbit. A brown dwarf cannot. Simply does not have the gravitational force for it. Second of all, a brown dwarf does not give off plasma. A red dwarf does. That is the difference. And that's why many brown dwarfs, are out there alone. They may circle a star, but they're out there alone. Most brown dwarfs are alone. Ask any scientist. See? Isn't that nice? Look at all the planets. See how they're coming around? See the upper left, bottom right, and upper right. And where's the brown dwarf? See how it leaves a trail again? Isn't that sweet? Please see how it leaves a trail? Ah, that is so sweet. And when you guys begin to understand that, whoosh, these things are spinning around, moving at about 66,000 miles an hour. We're moving at about 33. It would be almost impossible for them to capture us because we're moving too slow and they're moving too fast. You know what I'm saying? They already got enough on their plate. They can't fit someone else. And a good description of that is the old teeter-tot. That's why you can tell that most stars have a sun. Just use the teeter-tot theory. To keep the teeter-tot centered, and with one person, you'd have to stand in the middle. Well, put a backpack on the end, and the guy has to move. That's why most things have a companion, because you need that second companion to offset the gravity, or else you'd be tugged and pulled every which way. Because you couldn't stand in the middle of a teeter-tot while people are dropping stuff on both sides. You'd be like, ooh, and then you fall off. So that's why most stars have a binary twin. Now, the reason why they don't capture new stars is because now you have to jump on a teeter-tot and try to position yourself. 3 people on a teeter-tot. You understand? And that is how you can, understand that these things just don't happen. When people are like, well, what about a, triple star? Oh, well, it's the same thing. It's just that the end of the teeter-tot is split. That's why most companion stars are smaller, relatively to their parent. This is the best. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. It gets biblical in here. See, big 7 right there, big 3. Yeah, people say they've been seeing numbers a lot lately. That's true. That is absolutely true. So, and then of course you see what's coming by you. She's beautifully red, ain't she? Isn't that a beautifully red fucking object? See? And that's how you do this. And so them guys over there, and whatever, and they're all in cahoots. They all in cahoots. I'm just somebody who's just trying to put God's word out there and truth, whatever, you know. And I like that little Eve story. And here's another story. The man that God entrusted to build Jerusalem actually has one of the shortest verses in the Bible. Only 30. There's only 30 verses in the Bible. And in them 30 verses, this is what's going to get you. And in those 30 verses, because you don't have to find out who it is, but God gave him, you know, insight to build Jerusalem. So, in 30 verses, we'll tell you not only how he built Jerusalem, but there are 8 reasons to the keys of his success. If you just read those 30 verses, there are 8 reasons why he was successful. 8 reasons in those 30 verses. And in those 30 verses, it tells you how you built Jerusalem. With, of course, what? 7 districts, including Bethlehem. Once again, people, you will begin to understand that things correlate. Again, I'll say it one more time. Samaritans, the Ankite, whoever, the Nephilim, did not write the Bible. Did not. There was no way they would be carrying big stone tablets around. Did not. Second of all, and this is very much, you know, I lost my train of thought. Oh well, I'll just go back to the commentary of the spectacle you're witnessing in front of you and everything. So, you know, I keep telling you guys, all you gotta do is, if you want to know, if you got any questions, all you had to do is ask, you know? That's all you gotta do is ask. And you know, you would be able to say, okay, woo, woo, woo. But to keep lying to people is wrong. It's immoral. It's unethical. You know, it goes against the book, goes against the word. Really, man, I don't understand how some of y'all sleep at night. And you just have to realize that whatever people say, man, it don't matter. For me, it doesn't matter. I'm here for 2 reasons. You know, to produce a documentary on the orbits of the planet X system. I'm in it to get the binary planet named, the one that looks like a baseball. I got tons and tons of pictures. NASA's going to give me that. And like I said, you guys quit biking on NASA. Quit. You know what I'm saying? Quit biking on CERN. It's just a collider. Like the one near Chicago. It's just a scientific tool to get into inner space. To measure muons and quarks. It's not going to open portals. Okay? There's no space wars. It would be impossible. Well, why do you say that? Well, space wars would be impossible. Well, okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to shoot down lasers? Okay, we would have instruments to detect it. What are you going to try and heat up the desert or something? We would have instruments to detect your thing. What, are you going to heat up the oceans? You know how hard that would be? Yeah, real funny, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, they're going to direct the weather. How are you going to direct weather? There's too many variables. The barometric pressure. You know, the isotope readings. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't make sense. You know, the moisture content, the dew point. You know, the wind speed. How you gonna make a storm out of all that, man? You know what I'm saying? See that? It's the dog in the corner laughing at you. Jokers. Makes no sense. Dimensions. I already disproved that. It's It's mathematical possibility, but it hasn't been proven. So stop saying interdimensional stuff. And here's a good one for you. And here's a finally good one. I'm going to end this on this. Finally good one. People say, oh yeah, E.T. and this and that. I'm telling you, E.T. cannot land on Earth and be here amongst us. They cannot. And I'll tell you why. It's because Earth has its own defense system. God made it that way. What's its defense system, you ask? What's its defense system is microbes, spores, viruses, bacteria, germs, ultraviolet rays, gravity density, air pressure, electromagnetic fields, nitrogen content. All kinds of stuff could affect people landing on Earth and trying to be amongst us. You couldn't do it. Just like if you left Earth and came back 10,000 years later, you probably wouldn't survive because everything would have changed. You would no longer be immune to what's on Earth. I'm telling you people, man, you know, you got to understand, you just can't simply spew stuff and then not have something to back it up. Oh, so they got inoculations for everything on Earth? Quiet, dude. Oh, they would need spacesuits. They would need spacesuits, bro. You understand? You understand? They would need spacesuits. So they're not out here among us. Shapeshifters, unproven. Bigfoot, never seen. The Loch Ness Monster. Why don't you go fishing for that? Because it seems like that's the only thing that you guys are really looking for. Sasquatch, Yeti. Have you found Yeti yet? The big Yeti? Come on, man. The truth is, the Planet X Nibiru system is a necessary evil for Earth. It comes by every 3,700 years. It's biblical. It's written in history. It's written in culture. It's in our geological lasers. It's in our ice core samples. You know, it's written. It's even painted. I even said it's even painted on the 16 chapels and in the Last Supper. Now, it's also on the walls of our original people. It's in the Hopi prophecies. It's in the Mayan calendar. Chinese people 20 deep run around in a dragon costume lighting fireworks. Why do you think they do this? Can you understand? You have to understand that. You just can't go ahead and scare people. They rather have the truth, and then they can do what they want. That's all you're doing, is scaring people, or lulling them to sleep. Either or, it's wrong. These things aren't going to hit us. No, they're not. They're going to tug us away from our orbit around the sun. Yes. They're going to mess with our tilt and our axis and our wobble. Yes. But Earth will recover. The inner core being ignited will right us along with the moon. The sun having a stronger gravitational field will bring us back into orbit. It might take a decade or two, but we will get right with the sun. One thing we might want to watch out for after these things pass is when the sun cools, all that extra energy within will now be released. We could be hit with a lot of solar flares. We could be hit with maybe a possibly CME, cosmic mass ejection, coronal mass ejection, whatever. We could be that. Again, we could be looking at some serious stuff. We are still looking at some serious stuff. But all is well. And all will be well. And all will be saved. If you're doing the right thing in this time of tribulation. See, this is when God tests people. He's not just not going to lay down the gauntlet. He's testing you. to see how. Then you, ooh yeah. Then he's going to be like, oh, you know, you a faker. You know what I'm saying? You got things to answer to before you can get through the narrow gate. You know what I'm saying? This is a beautiful picture, and this is the end of it, man. I'm telling you, man, looks like a Klingon vessel, don't it? Going across. Don't it look like a Klingon vessel? Yeah, you know, the Enterprise. Where's the Enterprise? It looks like a Klingon vessel, though. For real, real. But y'all have a good night. And, you know, everything is good. I love y'all. Peace be out and bless you.